Andrey Ivchenko. I played Grigori in Stranger Things season 3, and you're watching Pop Culture with Pat.
Guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. I'm so excited to be joined by today's guests. Today I'm talking to Andrey Ivchenko, who played Grigori in Stranger Things season 3. Andrey, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Super excited to talk to you. I'm in the process of going through the show again, and we're on season 3 right now. So we just saw your character show up on the screen. So to start things off for you, how did you get involved with the show? What was your audition process like for Stranger Things?
Uh, Process was quite long, to be frank. My manager got on breakdowns. It was some like very vague message from the casting office that they looking for Eastern Europeans to participate in different projects in 2018. That was it.
As vague as it can be.
Yeah, exactly. So my manager submitted me. I got two auditions, one for villain, another one for sort of like a lab tech.
Okay.
And I did both. They wanted to do both in Russian and English. So I did submitted. Um, Probably 3 weeks pass. They wanted me to now to do only villain in both languages. Did as well, submitted. Then the casting office called my manager and said they want to see me in person. So went in person, read with the casting director. Uh, Another probably 3 weeks, I would say, maybe a month. Uh, my manager calling me and basically saying that I booked a part, I got the part, and uh, meanwhile, I don't know what it's for.
You're like, great, what did I
I
book?
don't exactly. I don't know like what is even like auditions I did. Usually, audition for the movie is slightly different format than audition for the TV show, because TV shows has a faster pace, so you have to slightly adjust your delivery, speed.
Yeah.
Uh, so meanwhile, I didn't know like what format I should do, so I did like without any format in my head, just like I would do like audition for whatever, let's say something in between.
Yep.
So my manager calling me and saying, yeah, you booked a part, and I'm like, and she's like, are you sitting or standing? And I'm like, because I'm gonna tell you what it is. So finally, she said, like, it's for Stranger Things, and I mean, I was fan of Stranger Things since first, even before when Netflix started to advertise
Yeah.
Stranger Things before it came out, the first season, I knew already I want to watch it.
Same.
Is
I was right there with you. I've talked to some of the other cast members, and I was saying how I'm such a big nerd with this stuff. So like I remember getting a magazine, and the poster for season 1 was in there, and just going off the poster art, it reminded me of Drew Struzan type of art, and I was like, this looks like a show that I'm gonna like. And then after I saw the trailer, watched the first episode, I was like, yep, I was instantly hooked. So I was right there with
Totally, yeah. So I got the part. Uh, Originally, it's supposed to be for I think 2 episodes, and I'm like, I take one
you. You're like,
for
great.
such an iconic show. I'll take one. I don't care.
Yeah.
But then Duffers uh, saw my audition and they scrap all of this. I didn't even have a character name. They called it just a muscle, the muscle. And then they scrap it and they rewrote me into 7 out of 8.
Which I mean, talk about, I feel like that's like one of the biggest compliments is that you get casted in the show and they're like, "Wait, we gotta redo this all so we can give you more screen time."
Yeah.
Now, when you finally found out who the character was and what he was going to be after they kind of went back and rewrote and everything, what kind of description did you get for Grigory, and how did you want to make the character your own outside of maybe just what was in the script?
Like the first time I met Duffers, my first day on set, and they took me aside and they said, this whole season is about homage to 80s and 90s TV shows and movies, like Die Hard, obviously Terminator and
Oh yeah,
Indiana Jones, all these action flicks, most popular in the world. And they said that my character, Grigori's character, is written after Terminator. So they kind of identify it, where I'm standing with my character. But I'm so grateful for them that they trust me with my choices. It wasn't specifically discussed, how my character should, what he should do and how he should behave and stuff like that.
yeah,
It was just outlined that, your character is written after the Schwarzenegger Terminator, and that was an only indicator for me to, okay, so I have to take it as a model, but I thought about it and said to myself that he's not a machine. So
yeah,
you have to bring some drop of kind of like humanity into this human being factor into this character, right?
yeah.
Even he's like a soldier and KGB agent and is like cold-blooded killer, but he still have to be more human than the machine. So that's
Yeah,
where I stand, kind of.
and he might not be a machine, but he's definitely quite the formidable opponent as we got to see throughout the season, especially with the different fights with Hopper and stuff like that. Now, as far as like your first day being on set too, can you talk about the experience of just, especially where you were a big fan of this series coming into it, just walking onto that set for the first day, getting into your costume, the hair and makeup and all that stuff?
Yeah. So the prior to that, my very first day I arrived to Atlanta, they right away they took me to the wardrobe department. I tried like probably 10 outfits, 10 different combinations, and a main costume designer said, okay, so that like leave it with me. I make the choices, we have like some stuff lined up, so I'll figure out what to put together.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't remember, or she texted me prior to that the picture with outfit she liked, or she didn't. I don't remember exactly that. But when I came to set and I get to wardrobe, I got all that stuff. And first thought I had back home still, I guess it was 19, I want to say 1994, 1993, I had exactly the same jean jacket
That's
that
amazing.
I was that I was wearing for the first scene.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like hit me first. Then I obviously went to the hair and makeup. Um, Makeup did amazing job. They designed those like cheeks, the like it was like what a smallpox or something, like they
Yeah.
they like a beaten up, cheeks, like it was prosthetic. And then hair was a different story because they wanted to obviously to do that brush haircut that Arnold had, right?
Yeah.
But my hair is so uh fine and soft. And I didn't cut my hair. They didn't want me to cut my hair probably 2 months prior to that. So with all this big hair and the hair girls, it was two hair girls, and they like approach it very carefully. They started to cut a little bit, and then try to hold it, hair cut up. As I said, my hair is very soft, so it's kind of coming down. They put like bunch of hair products in that, and then they taken a picture. They sent to Duffers. Duffers looking at the picture. They sent their answers back saying like we want to like more square. Can you cut more on top? So they doing all of that. It was a whole
Quite the
first
process.
time. It was a whole process, man. I spent probably I don't know an hour and a half just doing the hair.
Yeah.
And then finally they done and the Duffers like that, but the first time they did like higher than it should be, I guess. But then the second time and the third time they already like figure out the formula. So then it
Got
was
it.
like on point.
Yeah. And we were talking about just a few minutes ago too, just between you and Hopper, your characters have some pretty epic fights throughout the season. So can you just talk about kind of the prep that went into filming some of those different scenes and just then getting to work with David Harbour throughout the season as well?
Yeah, because it's a big production, usually with big production you get lucky because you get some days of rehearsal. So for every fight, even like not messy ones, we had like a 1 day prior to that, or maybe like
Oh,
2 days prior to it, some rehearsal with the stunt guys and the stunt coordinator, and we spent a few hours doing these, and a stunt coordinator prior even to rehearsal, he designed with the stunt guys, he designed the video of that fight and he sent it to us so we could like practice a little bit in front of the mirror. Then let's say next day we had rehearsal, and so it was going into rehearsal and we would doing this fight, and sometimes it's some movements what didn't really fit, so we like stunt coordinator has to adjust. He would say a little parts, but like okay, so maybe now you hit not like a right hook, but just straight. Like some little adjustments.
yep.
But we had a day prior to the filming. We had probably 3 4 hours of rehearsing, and we did it like basically before every fight we film.
Yeah, and specifically, I guess that final fight too, because I remember watching that season. It was kind of like, oh, Hopper, I think he's like met his match as far as just like a formidable foe. You guys are going punch for punch, and thought that he was gonna maybe get killed off in that season. So can you talk about, I guess, like what went into filming the scene where you end up finally going into the machine and then just end up splattering everywhere?
Um, Interesting that fight was so massive
Oh yeah,
that when I got the video of the with the stunt guys doing this, and I look at this, and I'm like, how hell are we gonna shoot all of this? Uh, uh, you know, because just for me, just to memorize the fight,
yeah,
it's. I mean, you have to do probably like 100 times to remember all sequences, where the fight is moving, how the trajectory of the fight, and but then I talked to Hira, stunt coordinator, and he said, "Oh, don't worry. Like we're gonna shoot. We're gonna do wide shot with whole sequence from the beginning to the end, from like distance with the stunt guys, with the stunt our stunt doubles, and then we're gonna close ups. We're gonna divide on small parts, whole fight, and we're gonna shoot that way."
so that makes it a little bit easier for you.
Yes, yes. I'm like, whew. Thank God,
God.
Uh, then I didn't know probably till, I mean, for the first day of filming that fight, because we shoot that fight for like 3.5 days. It was
Yeah.
like 3 days, 12 hours, and a fourth day, I believe, was like seven or something, 7 or 8, something like that. And I remember that the first day of filming, I didn't even know uh, they gonna kill me that way. I knew kind of like Grigori character has to go by the end of the season,
Yeah.
but I didn't know like what's gonna happen. And I think on the second day of filming that it would became clearer for me that like, okay, I'm going into canon.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fight was I I mean, it was a lot of work.
Oh
It
yeah.
was a lot of work. And David sometimes was shooting first unit because the fight we shoot the Hita was directing second unit. And David sometimes were shooting in the morning first unit, and after first unit he would come, and while he shooting with the first unit I was doing my stuff with his stunt double. And then when he was coming in, then they shoot like close-ups, and faces and different close-ups, punches and kicks. Um, and with David, we hit from the first day, like it was great. We talk, like two big guys, and I was glad that actually he's as big as me, because I thought that's gonna be a fair fight.
Yeah.
Like while Grigori was like highly trained special operative, KGB operative in United States, and he was dominating kind of David through the most of the season. But David kind of like through different fights and through different, uh, collisions, he learned stuff, and so at the end, he finally got
Yeah.
me.
We knew watching that season that we were waiting for this to come to an end at some point. And I mean, if you had to go, if your character had to go, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better way. I mean, what an epic fight for the character
Totally,
to get killed off
totally
and
honorable death.
yeah, exactly. And speaking of like the Duffer Brothers too, I mean they're known for their attention to detail, very particular about things. So yeah, can you just talk a little bit more about as far as working with them and how what makes them stand out for you personally as directors?
Big thing. I like my utmost respect for them, uh, because what I learned on set with working with them constantly, they have full control of the production. Meaning, it's a huge production. Sometimes it's two units filming, and sometimes there's two units not filming close by. They
Yeah,
filming in different locations, and Duffers still control what they filming on like let's say they when they film in first unit and second unit filming somewhere else, they always communicate with the second unit director. He sent all the video footage to them. They looking at the video footage and they sending back and they saying like, okay, you have to reshoot this, you have to reshoot that, we don't like this but we like that. And they maintaining constant control over the production.
which is
uh,
crazy to think about. Just yeah, with everything going on.
because they want to be very immaculate with different details. They don't want to be just like, okay, picture looks good, like, and then like audience nowadays, they not just watching the
Oh,
TV show or movie. They looking for different things that like, okay, that didn't exist in 1986, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Or like, oh, there's like, look at her boots, like it's from like 2005, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So they very particular with everything, and they watching the production and they want to be sure that everything is 100%.
And
And
fans wonder why sometimes too, why I feel like that it's taken a little bit longer for these seasons to come out, but it's like there is so much work and so much detail that
oh
goes
yeah,
into producing each one of these shows, I feel like, and you know from firsthand experience.
when we film, for example, the in that entertainment park,
Yep,
uh, it was basically filmed in. It was around about an hour drive from Atlanta. It's the guy who owns some like massive piece of land. He's got a ranch there, and he actually they got for, I think we shoot like for 4 or 5 days, something like that. So they got that ranch, and they brought and they built all this amusement park on that ranch.
that's
It
crazy
was huge, you know what I mean? And we shoot those two units uh, on different sides of the parks. And when, let's say, we film like 8 takes, uh, the second unit director was radio duffers, and duffers coming from one side of the park to another just to watch the footage. And they saying, okay, we like, they give an instruction what they like, they don't like, they going back to the first unit, continue filming there. Meanwhile, second unit filming here, another number of takes, then they coming back again, they rewatching it, they giving instruction. It was amazing to watch them to do all of this.
to see that. Yeah, no, I mean
But that's why Stranger Things such a flawless, high-rated, iconic
yeah.
TV show.
I mean, it's one of the biggest shows of all time. It's my favorite show of all time. And
Yep,
it's like you can just go back and rewatch that thing and pick up on little details that you might not have picked up on the first time around, which to me is always the sign of a good show or a movie is when you can go back and rewatch it and still pick up on things, over and
you're
over again.
right.
Now, and you didn't get as much time, but you did get to work a little bit with Nona as well. I mean, obviously she was a an icon in the 80s and the 90s, with all her different roles. So, can you talk about any just like experience working with her? Was there anything that you kind of learned from, working with her as well?
Yeah, when we shoot that final fight, and we were in that kind of like control office at the top of the whole station,
Yeah,
and Winona, like, such a cool, and but when I saw her first time, she's so tiny, and I knew that scene I have to throw her,
yeah,
like, and she has to fly and hit this like control panel table, and I'm like, damn, like, she's so tiny, like, how I have to grab her, right? So so I talked to a second unit director. He said, yeah, like, she's so tiny, fragile, can you just like put your hand, just like, kind of like you grabbing her, but like just put the hand over here,
yeah.
not grabbing her by the neck, but like put the hand, just, I'm like, yeah, I'll do my best. So I did, and it was like, but it was a cool, she was cool. She's like, like, oh yeah, like, it was a physical, because then I have to kind of like pretend like I start throwing her, and she's kind of like, and for her it was a physical role as well,
Yeah.
physical scene, but she was so cool, like, like, second take, third take, she's like, yeah, let's do it, let's go. And it was like such a pleasure to see the little tiny woman, not complaining, and not like saying, oh, okay, because she's a huge star, she's an icon, she
Yeah.
could say, okay, guys, maybe like we should like finish, I'm tired, but like, no complaints at all, just keep going.
You love to hear that. And for you too, as obviously at the time when you guys are filming it, you didn't really, I think, have an idea, but once it came out and people were watching the episodes, were you nervous at all knowing that you killed the character of Alexei, and as the season was going on, that he kind of became like a fan favorite? Were you nervous to see the reaction from fans after that happened?
Frankly, no.
No.
I knew I did my job. To be honest, I didn't think that. that's what kind of reaction I will get from that scene. I thought like, people might be upset a little bit, and it's like, okay. But yeah, I was getting after the season came out, I was getting like on DMs on the Facebook, we hate you,
Jeez.
you can yeah, oh yeah, man. It was like 2,000 messages a day.
My God.
Yeah, it was like just constantly my phone constantly beeping, beeping, beeping. But I'm not yeah, I'm that kind of person. I don't get sensitive about that. I
Yeah.
did my
Playing a
job,
character.
that yeah, there was a part of the character, there was a script. I went, I did my job, everybody likes it, I have nothing to complain about. People complaining about it, for me, it's just an indicator that I did my job very well.
Yeah, I mean the
You know
best
what I
villains are
mean?
the characters you love to hate. So
Exactly. So I'm totally cool, and I understand kind of that part, like especially, you know, um, kids, teenagers that
yeah.
from maybe like 10 years old to, I don't know, 17, they upset, they feel like, okay, Alexis died, he was such a cutie and he likes his Slurpees and stuff like that, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, that
That's
sounds
that's why that's why that season also was interesting. And not only that season, but whole Stranger Thing um, universe
yeah.
is interesting because there is no such a thing that except obviously main cast, because very main cast he has to stay because there is not going to be any more seasons if they
Show,
die.
yeah.
But the rest of the characters, they dying constantly, and that's why uh, I think audience keep that interest to the show high
Yeah.
because of that as well. It's part of the reason,
Oh yeah.
because if it was the same people, same cast, and nobody died, or maybe like one person out of the two seasons die, it wouldn't be that rotation when keep people coming and watching the next season and see like, oh, there's like a new cast now, new characters, it will be interesting what they all about. So I think that's,
Oh, the Duffers, they keep us on pins and needles every season.
exactly, yes.
Now, let's say for you, Andre, let's say if Grigori had survived and he made it into season four, season five, how do you think that he would have fared against like the Demogorgons, the Demodogs, or even Vecna? Do you think that he would have been able to a formidable force to go against those type of characters?
Well, I can tell you he would give him a run for their money, that's for sure. That
Yeah,
would be it. I mean, he probably would die at the end,
yeah.
but
He'd put up a
it
fight,
would he wouldn't go easy. He wouldn't
yeah.
go down easy. It would be hard fight
Even though
if
he
we
was a
would.
villain, that I think that it would have been kind of cool to see him, come back if like he escaped or something and see him come back and team up with the team to help take down these different threats because yeah, I mean it doesn't hurt to have some big muscle on your side like him.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good idea, right?
Yeah. And now as far as too like putting on, this is obviously pure speculation, no insider info or anything like that, but I'm assuming you've probably seen the season 5 trailer. Uh what did you kind of think of it in general? And do you think, or what do you think that we might get in season 5? Is there any characters that you think that could possibly get killed off?
I can tell you from my experience, I can tell you that Duffers always deliver.
Oh yeah,
Always. I remember before season 4 came out, and I'm like, I was reading different, speculation and different gossips and what people say, and they also like, oh, like season 4, it took like such a long time for them to film, and like, audience losing interest, and like it's gonna be, the episodes is gonna be too long.
not at
Season
all.
4 came out, boom,
Oh yeah,
everybody's watching. Everybody's watching one of the another highest rated season in Netflix history. So I can tell you about Fifth because like I'm also like reading here and there, like because now each episode's gonna be like almost like 2 hours long.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
then
can see
people
that.
kind of like recycling the same comments and complaining about like it's gonna be Lorna is gonna like, oh, it took him like, such a long time to film this, to film season five, but they always deliver.
Oh
They
yeah,
always, Duffers always what they pro it's I think it's gonna be another bump,
yeah.
in the ratings in Netflix. So I mean,
I
there's not
love.
gonna be any disappointment in that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like I definitely trust in the Duffers. They've delivered four great seasons so far, and I love too that because I know not everyone's like this. That some people like to just binge everything, kind of watch it at one time. But I like that they're splitting it up into the three different parts, so that way we can kind of sit down and enjoy each part, watch it, and then kind of theorize what's going to happen
Right.
in the next episodes. I know to me that's a little bit more fun, and that way you can also have it a little bit longer too, because it's like once we get to that final episode, it's like, well, that's it. That's the end of the show. Like I'm sure they're gonna do, spin-offs and stuff like that, but I want to hold on to it as long as I can because, this is like I said, it's my favorite show of all time. But I have no doubt. I hope each episode. I would love each episode was like 3 hours long. Just give me all the Stranger Things.
But my guess that's why they divide in for the three parts, because
Probably
the
longer.
length of the episode, and it gives people time to digest and really absorb what was going on there, and like what they like kind of like guess, so what's gonna be in the next one, so
Yeah.
like if they divide in that for three parts, because they wanted people to really get into first part, and
Yeah.
then they did, and then when people really got into first part, then they anxious to see the second, and then they like after that they deliver the second and the third, like
Yep.
there is some strategy behind that. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
just like, oh, we're doing like now we're doing three parts,
Yeah.
cutting
Just
them
random.
like it's yeah, it's definitely they thought about it, and they have plan
Oh, 100%.
all
And
this season.
for you, Andre, too, I mean, being a fan of the show as well, but I mean, what does it mean to you to know that you got to be a part of one of the biggest shows of all time? It's my favorite show of all time. I know a lot of fans, it's their favorite shows of all time. So what does it mean to you as an artist just to have been part of something like this in your career?
First of all, obviously, I'm proud of this achievement. It's a big honor to be in such a cult, I would say, show. Not only in United States, but it's the world phenomena, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like every person. I would assume anybody who's got a TV and Netflix on it, anywhere in the world, in the far, far villages and somewhere like India and Africa, and people know this show. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And it's definitely it's an honor to be on this show, but it's also for me personally, it's a huge achievement. I immigrated from Ukraine, 1999, was living in different countries, came to America in 2013, start pursuing my dream in Canada, moved to United States, work hard on that, and finally got booked this role in such an iconic show. It's a huge achievement.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what, like no matter how my life will go after that this show, right?
Yeah.
But
You'll
this
always have this.
always will stay there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And just to wrap things up for you, Andre, is there anything else that you would like to say as far as just to the fans in general and where can fans stay up to date with you with your work moving forward?
I want to say to all the fans around the world who loves this show and who comes for watch every season, and I know a lot of people rewatch. I talk to a lot of people, and people rewatch these shows. I mean, every season for like 11, 16 times, 20 times, like mind blowing how people like want to watch this show and not losing interest. But I want to say to all the audience, around the world. Thank you guys, all the fans. Thank you, thank you, thank you from me personally, from I'm sure from all of the cast of this show, from duffers, from crews who work on the show, and we want you to stay that way. We want you to love this show and love this work and love the creativity. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Andre. I appreciate you, for everything that you put into the show. As far as like up to date with social media and stuff like that, I know you have like Instagram. Where can fans stay up to date with you?
Yeah, Instagram, the Andrey Ivchenko, Facebook, the same, and I have also Threads, also the same
Perfect, same
title.
handle. I'll make sure
Yeah,
to put that down below in the description. Well, again, Andre, just thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful having you come on the show, talking about your experience. Thank you for all the work you and the rest of the crew that you put into the show. And you are welcome back anytime in the future, sir.
thank you, appreciate it. Andrey Ivchenko, I played Grigori in Stranger Things season 3, and you watching Pop Culture with Pat.